Alright, so last episode I took over as manager of a struggling Juventus side to take them back to their former glory, and as you can see in our first game against Fiorentina, we look back to the best as Jonathan David would be on fire in this game, linking up with Dusan Vlahovic against his former team. It was a great passing play with Dusan Vlahovic getting a brace of assists for the brace of goals that David would score, then would return the favour to Dusan Vlahovic, who would get a goal against his former team to make it 3-0, and just before the half-time break, Kenan Yildiz would run through and rifle one past De Gea at the near post there to make it 4-0. We were sooner or later going to get a 5-0 victory for ourselves. After that was a Napoli, and again that was a tough one in a way, but early on we got a goal, and Napoli did play pretty decent in this game. They weren't a bad team, but as you'll see by the scoreline, it was very, very good for us. We got very fortunate there when Meret making a save, but it fell straight to Kenan Yildiz would score to get us a 2-0 victory in that one. And up against Bologna, Kenan Yildiz would just score a great goal. They're flicking it over the defender, beating the keeper with a little bit of luck there for himself, but Yildiz was shooting in a fall to Conceição with a little bit of fortune favouring us again there to make it 2-0. And would not have fortune in this one. This was a great play to make it 3-0 here, just for the half-time break with some Niskim as well, and pick up a 4-0 victory at the end of it. And for the final game of the episode, we took on Roma. And Conceição here shooting and beating their keeper, Milisvila, to make it 1-0 with power there across goal. They would almost get a goal back with Badanzi winning ahead of there, and almost get a goal there back with Kone, who would put the ball wide of the post. But in the end, they couldn't get back into the game as we were dominating this game for the most part. And in the end, we'd get a goal to get a 2-0 victory from Openda. Let's get into this one and hopefully continue our great form. And to start today's episode, we're going to make some big changes to the team in terms of signings and some sales that could happen in the team. Dusan Vlahovic is a player that obviously is rumoured to be leaving Juventus Career, could also stay, but obviously a transfer for like 13 million in January, I believe is possible for like the Spurs, Man United to do if they decide to bring him into the team. So he could be a player that if we get a big offer for him from a team that I feel like is realistic for him to go to, I'm going to accept it. Openda is only on loan here. I don't have a buy option for him. I can't go in for him to buy him. So we have to wait till next season to buy Openda. So he would then take over the first team, and then we'd have to buy him next season to come into the team that we ran in. We'd have to buy a backup striker for now anyway, so we'd have to make a transfer for Dusan Vlahovic to be a backup on the bench. Also, we're looking to replace Kostic and maybe let go of McKennie. I do think I'd keep him as a backup player. I think he's just a player that I want to keep around as a backup player here. As you can see, Nico Gonzalez, Douglas Luiz and Timothy Weah have come back from the loan spells. Weah and also Luiz are going to get sold. Gonzalez, I did plan to sell him, but for some reason they can loan him back out, so we're going to keep him around for the season. I reckon he's going to just take over Kostic's position in the team here for the rest of the season and just play it there for us. Let's not waste any more time. Let's get into the transfer window and make some big signings to massively improve this team. And becoming our first signing of this career mode here for 23.5 million is Davinson Sanchez, now 29 years of age, 82 rated Colombian centre-back. Is now playing for he's playing for Galatasaray in the Turkish. He's kind of going through a career resurgence in Turkey after his bad spell. He didn't do awful for Spurs, but obviously things didn't really work out for him after they moved there, so he moved over to Galatasaray, was doing pretty good for himself. But he joins us here, 82 rated, 29 years of age, to replace Gatti in the first team, and should be a great partner for Bremer in the back line for us. And next up, another player you guys wanted to see in this team is Domenico Berardi to be more of a backup, experienced option for us, a Conceição and also Kenan Yildiz in the cam roles. So we're going to convert the Italian, now 31 years of age, 82 rated, playing for Sassuolo, has been a great servant for them over the years. A player that could have easily made a move to a bigger team in Italy or across Europe somewhere, but stayed loyal to Sassuolo, even through relegation, hoping to get back alongside Lorente in the attack into the first division. But he joins us here now for 23.5 million to be a backup player in the team, and should be a great player for us on the bench. He can come into the first team and do well whenever we need him. And up against Lecce, and what could be possibly a final game of Vlahovic, we've got an offer from Spurs that I kind of delegated and see how much money can get from Spurs for him. He scores it to score, or to get us a 3-0 victory with Kluda to scoring, and Jonathan David to get the 3 points at home here. And well, even without Berardi in the team, due to Piemonte scoring a brace to get a 2-2 draw here against Sassuolo, sharing the points away from him with David, and also Yildiz scoring for us to get a point here. And it's a surprising 1-1 draw against Cremonese here. A team we should be beaten, we get a draw here against them. Jonathan David scoring and Baby is scoring for them early on to share a point again in this game. So we're dropping in form, but it's not great considering we're up against some fairly easy teams right now. We should be getting 3 points against Cremonese, definitely, but we've got a point here, so we have to take it. And well, as you can see, 2 big sales have just been made, with Dusan Vlahovic leaving to join Tottenham due to being heavily linked with Demaya Rowe. When he accepted the 50 million offer, I thought, you know what, let's just do it. Let's sell him to Spurs to keep it kind of realistic, because they're the team that are going in for the most for him in January on a cheaper deal. And Douglas Luiz leaves for Napoli for 30 million, which now this sees our budget, I believe, go back up 100 million to be around 128 million. So let's get into the window again. buy a few players, buy a backup striker for the team. I think we're going to sign a young talent for that position, or maybe like an older player who can do good off the bench, and maybe one more midfielder in the window. And signing here from the Saudi League is a player that I've never used before in FC or FIFA, I don't think, in the past, is Moussa Barrow, the 27-year-old, 79 rated striker, a bunch of pace, decent shooting, and pretty good all-round stats as well for a striker. He signs with here for only 21 million, and kind of continue with the theme of players that are not the youngest, but are good players in the game. And Moussa Barrow is going to be a quality backup striker for us. See, Moussa Barrow is going to be just a backup to, obviously, Openda and also Jonathan David this season, and we'll just be fighting in that role and should be incredible for us in this team. And next up for the door is a player we briefly used in our Liverpool series. We only did one season with that team. Obviously, Ayoub Boadi is a player that's been linked to Juventus and Liverpool quite a lot recently. The Frenchman playing for Lille is a pretty good young player, 18 years of age. Obviously, we know how good he can be from the Liverpool series. When he had brief cameos in the team off the bench, he looked pretty good. It'll be a great backup player for us this season. We're going to loan out Moretti for the rest of the season. Him and McKinney will be a backup midfielders for the CDM role. And Boadi should be a great player for us and a player we can develop throughout this team. I think otherwise that'd be great. And becoming our final signing of this window, I do believe, but before we get into our next game up against Napoli, we're going to bring in Bento here, the Brazilian goalkeeper from Al Nassr. Obviously, 26 years of age, 81 rated in this game right now. So he was a great goalkeeper for us in SC25. Now, West Ham Career Mode did do, so he was our first team goalkeeper in that series. We're going to bring him in to the backup to Di Gregorio right now, because Di Gregorio is almost 84 rated, and over +3 already this season. He's been incredible for us in the team, and Bento can be a great backup goalkeeper for us, and Perrin can be our third choice keeper that we either sell later on. But Bento becomes our final signing of the. And when it's finally time for our first played game of today's episode up against Napoli, there's some big changes to the team. Openda now our first team striker, only on loan here, so he's not a permanent player for us right now. We can't make him a permanent player this season for some reason. I can't go in to buy him like you can usually for players that are on loan. There's no option to buy him right now. So he's going to be here on loan for the rest of the season. Hopefully he can do well for us. And also we do have Moussa Barrow as a backup striker. I might need to buy a second backup striker as well, because we do play two strikers in the first team. And but they both get injured. We do have Ken Yildiz, we've got Barodi who could play striker as well. We could just keep as it is and keep the money that we can maybe make a signing towards the end of the season with. Let's get into this game though, up against Napoli, and hopefully with Davinson Sanchez at centre back, he can do well for us and prove why we brought him in to the team here. As Dusan Vlahovic was a big reason why we did well last episode, so hopefully letting him go isn't going to cost us too much as Lukaku hits the post or hits the crossbar. Why is that pass going straight to their player, and Lukaku thankfully puts it wide to the post there, and then there from him. Ball through to Luis Openda. That's good defending there from Miguel Gutierrez. And hopefully Sanchez can win the header. Yes, he does. This is Sanchez and Lukaku, no stranger to one another. They would have met in the Premier League when Lukaku was at Chelsea and Vincent Sanchez was at Spurs play. But right now, we can't really find that as we find Conceição and drift it inside. Conceição, the Portuguese talent, hits it, and Moret makes a good save there. Conceição inside here to Openda on the turn. The Belgian hits it and it's blocked though by Ramoni, and out for a corner. Okay, no goals so far in this game. Why is Vincent Sanchez here? Of all players, why is Sanchez the one here? I mean, it's done quite well there, to be fair. Bremer lays it off to Conceição, hits it. Oh no, thank you to Ramno getting it back. See, that is a big reason why we did bring Sanchez into the team. Obviously being a fairly physical defender can do well for us. And also that 82 pace is massively improved on the pace that Gatti has. Ball inside it. Jonathan David wide to the front, but forced to Openda, who shoots, and again it was blocked by a Napoli defender. Jonathan David. Conceição could have gone down there for a pen if he made contact, but he didn't. Conceição shoots, and it's blocked up again. I feel like they've turned up the defender. In the patch. I really hope they haven't, because, like I said, that would be the end of this game before it's like halfway through it. Bremer. Openda. Good play, but of course it goes straight to them. Lobotka gets it away low. Samuel Gisa. And we made the challenge over, it falls back to them again. There's Kludo getting the ball off him. Conceição now told Jonathan David to make the run. David is going to be stopped there, but we'll get the ball back. Conceição lovely move there from Locatelli. David to Openda. I was hoping we would have made the run better there, but frequency at the end of this is going to be fuming. Cambiasso got blocked there. the player with something Sassuolo. The 31. What was that dribbling? That isn't his stats, that's the game. Turin wins the header. Zagrova flicks it inside. Zagrova shoots. Moret makes a save on him. Bawadi. Turan. Zagrova, but 2 plays on this over. Create some room, no find. Jonathan David, who strikes it straight to Alex Moret. I didn't have time to take a touch. I had to go for the shot. He should have scored. He should have scored. It was anywhere but the middle of the goal, and it would have been a goal. Oh no. Oh no, not like this. Not like this. Lovely challenge from Thuram. They still have the ball though. Thuram in there again. Get it. Oh, I was hoping that would have gone long because that would have given a chance to get a breakaway. It's a 0-0 draw. In the game we had so many chances, too many to even show you in this episode, man. And I really hope this is not a thing. Look at that, 9 shots to 2. And we get a 0-0 draw, 61% possession. And we couldn't score. I really hope this patch, man. Like, why? Oh, I really hope it hasn't done what I think it's done. I really hope it hasn't. And in the final game of the Champions League, we get a 3-0 victory against Monaco here with Kenan Yildiz, Openda, and also Jonathan David getting goals in this one here. And while this next game is a massive away from home against Inter Milan, the league table currently sees us joint top of the table with 3 other teams, with a couple of teams not far behind us. We're on 50 points. Bologna are on 50 points, and also Inter Milan are on 50 points, and Napoli on 47 points. Let's get into this one up against them, and hopefully we're not going to get another 0-0 draw, because that last game against Napoli we played was not a boring game to watch. We had chances, but we just couldn't score, and it did feel like kind of more like the Gladbach surge than I would have hoped it would be in that game. Let's get into this one though, up against Inter away from home here, and don't forget the 3 points against them here. Kelly, who does have a release cost by the way, 65 million. I'm hoping that doesn't get hit, because he is a big player for us in the team. But there's one player that I would bring in if we were to let him go, and that is obviously Sandro Tonali, who's been linked with Juventus quite a lot recently. As Kenan Yildiz gets inside, he shoots, but he hits the post. So in the game, they both scored in the game that happened at IRL between Inter and Juventus earlier in the season. But Openda through, looking for Jonathan David, great move. Jonathan David, low-driven shot there, finds the back of the net here, just before the 11th minute. The Canadian puts us ahead. A player that if you guys want to see happen, we're going to replace him in Season 2. That is if we don't win everything in Season 1. It is the possibility we could actually win the treble here. We're still in the Champions League, we're in the Coppa Italia, and we're obviously in the league title race right now. So if we do win everything in Season 1, we'll move on to a different team. But Jonathan David strikes it to beat the Swiss-winning goal. Kenan Yildiz running through here, and well, the last game against Napoli we had a bunch of chances, but this game against Inter seems a lot more open, and it might be due to their formation. That's Thuram. Well, I need to preface switch to Thuram, Marcus Thuram there. That's why the Kenan Yildiz inside again here. The Turkishman is looking incredible. Ball across. Why is that so far overhit, but it almost went in anyway, but it hits the inside of the post? Why was that driven so far to the byline? It could have been a straight pass across. I don't like this. Nicola Brodin out. Good defending there though. And Catherine Thuram. Yildiz, Openda, these two linking up well. And Kenan Yildiz going to make it 2. Yildiz denied by Jan Sommer, doesn't fall back to us. Good defending there from Vincent Sanchez. I can't remember who he joined from to join Spurs in the first place. I can't remember now. I think it might have been the team in Spain. A ball over the top here to Kenan Yildiz. Could he finally make it 2? No, we can't. We've had so many chances since we scored the first goal. We just can't score again. Got a brother here. Ball hit to DeMarco. Ball inside the box. Headed away by, or not headed away, hooked away by Cambiasso. To find Kenan Yildiz. He tells Openda to make the run. The Belgian has the pace. Can he cut inside? Yes, he can. The Belgian shoots, and the Belgian scores to finally double our lead. We have been all over Inter in this game. Just like we were in that Napoli game, we've been so good going forward in this one. And pretty good defensively as well. And Yildiz gets the assist. Openda cuts inside. Gets past the Kanji, opens the space. And gets the finesse shot away there. And wraps it into the far corner. Jan Sommer can't stop us this time round, as he's done so for the previous 4 or 5 attempts we've had. I imagine AC Milan and Inter Milan will come back pretty soon. But other than that, I don't know about Atalanta, and also Lazio. Conceição through as I'm waffling about the licenses. Openda. How has Sommer saved that? I shouldn't have gone low driven. I should have gone for a normal shot when I got the touch. Davide Fratesi goes off and Zielinski comes on for them. So Kenan Yildiz Looking for Bremer in the centre. Can the Brazilian win the header? Bremer does win the header, and Bremer scores the header. I've not scored one of those since the opening 2 weeks of the game, because they nerfed them compared to how good they were at the start. You could actually score headers at the start of this game. But Bremer finally gets another one for us to make it 3-0. And Inter, I wonder what's happened. Their team right now, before this game, was joint level with us in the table on 50 points in 3rd place. And they're 3-0 down against us here, as Bremer just about outjumps Bastoni there to head it into the back of the net and make it 3-0 to us. This out. A lovely move there from him. Jonathan David now bringing it forward as DeMarco on him. He's waiting for that run across this out, but DeMarco, he's going to watch it, and Jonathan David's going to get very fortunate there, but the referee's going to call it back for a handball. I'm literally in the box about to shoot and score. That is so frustrating. Give me the option to choose whether or not to do so. I've literally just... I was about to shoot and probably score, and now we don't have a free kick taker in this team. Kenan Yildiz is our best player on them with 67 accuracy, so we're going to try and hit this one and see what happens. But Kenan Yildiz from the free kick hits it and hits the crossbar. It wasn't a bad effort, but we literally would have just scored. The out wider to DeMarco. Thuram. Kefren Thuram blocks it. Umbrella. That's going to be a handball against us, though, I think. And a free kick for them in a pretty dangerous position. We are 3-0 up here, so if we can see straight from this free kick, it won't really matter, but just for principle, I'm going to put a player on the line, Carlos Grillo straight into the wall, and Barrow makes a block. Batfin's loan at Atletico Madrid. Moves the Barrow through though to the Argentinian. Could he score? Why didn't he shoot? It's Berardi now. Lovely move inside there from him. DeMarco tried to stop him. Berardi on the ball, the Frenchman. Looking for the cross, DeMarco blocks it. Berardi still has the ball. It's denied there by Kanji in the end. And again, trying to get a consolation goal for themselves. DeMarco, brother through into Lautaro Martinez, he shoots and scores. And the Argentinian does get a goal back for Inter. You know what, just to speed up the process, just sim the rest of the game here. And hopefully that goal doesn't kickstart a late comeback here. It ends up being 3-1, and the world is a victory for us in this game. And next up here is Napoli once again, though this time in the semi-final first leg of the Coppa Italia. There's a month in between the first leg and the second leg. This one, though, we're at home, though, in the rain. Let's get into this one and hopefully beat Napoli like we did earlier in the season, unlike we didn't manage to do earlier in the episode, and score a goal against them in this one here. Blocked by Locatelli. It's been a battle of the midfielders. We get the ball away there rather stupidly as we get the ball back there from Bremer. And Vincent Sanchez can carry it forward for us, a Colombian. Can play actually a great pass into Openda. He can return it, or send it through to Kenan Yildiz, who opens the scoring here. 15 minutes in on a breakaway from a counter. Kenan Yildiz scores for us. And one thing I want to talk about real quickly is the golden generation Turkey are building kind of quietly in the background. Not many people have really been talking about Turkey for the next upcoming tournaments. Obviously, usually they're not the best. They are a decent team in tournaments, not the best though. But Kenan Yildiz, Arda Güler, Can Uzun, and so many other great talents they have. Could Turkey be a team to take notice of in upcoming international tournaments like the World Cup, like the Euros, etc.? It's going to be hard for them to do well. You know, they've done pretty well recently, but it's hard for them to win it. But there are a team with some great players in there. That could be a good team to keep an eye out for in upcoming tournaments. They could knock out a few big teams with the players they do have. And Jonathan David steals it as the Canadian. Waiting for the runner, Conceição. Beats the defender, Conceição out. Oh, couldn't cut it back inside. Bianchero gets it off him. It's Pochettino. There we go. Cambiasso, great defender from him. I'm hoping he can continue to grow in his overall, because he's a great player that we can use on either side of the pitch. David back through to Conceição. Question is, what's the move from here? Do I go for goal? Conceição on a flash shot inside. He hits it. The Portuguese scores. Iron Robin-esque there from Conceição. A move down the right, cutting on his left, wrap it into the far corner to put us 2-0 up here. And what a goal that was from Conceição. I thought for a moment that Napoli would have stopped us with a cut inside there. But two defenders in front of him. I thought the shot wasn't going to happen there. I thought Bianchero would have blocked it, but he left the space open, and the Portuguese finds the back of the net to give us a 2-goal lead in this one. We should have to see. Well, here come Napoli shooting the attack from the kickoff here, playing some nice football here. Noah Lang. There's Kalulu, a great defender from him. Honestly, he's always been great in just Career Mode in general, in FIFA, FC, whatever you want to call it. Locatelli through. This game is open now. Because the Sal would hold up play across to a penalty. That should be 3-0. Then the juxtaposition of performances from Napoli in this episode is insane. The first game, I mean, we should have scored and won that game, to be fair, but they were decent defensively and Meret made some good saves. But in this one, they just haven't turned up at the Pender there. Beats Meret with power and pace at the near post there with a first-time shot there. Just rifling it goalwards to make it 3-0. And in the rain, we've been playing some great football here. I thought the rain would have been a hindrance to us. But in the Coppa Italia first leg of the semi-finals, we have a 3-goal lead. I'm going to play till half-time and soon the rest of it. But as it stands, we should be through to the final because I doubt Napoli will pull out the comeback in the second leg when I sim it. Ball forward to Memphis Depay. That's half-time. And that means we're going to sim the rest of the game 3-0 up here at the break in Turin in the rain here in the Coppa Italia semi-final first leg, as our mascot is doing the most, dancing and celebrating with the fans to see it. The sim to the end ends up being a 4-0 win with Ken and Juventus get a fourth, and that means we're through guaranteed to the final of the Coppa Italia this season. And up against 16th place Pisa here, we beat them here with Jonathan David Berardi. David coming on and scoring 2 goals, and Berardi getting braced himself as well in this one to beat them 4-1. We should to see the next game of the way is going to be a massive one. As you can see, Quadrado played against as our former player and couldn't really do much for them in this game. They did get a goal, which is fair up. Obviously, they're 16th in the table, and we've got a guaranteed 3 points against them here, which was to see. And well, now it's time for the round of 16 of the Champions League. The first leg at home in the Allianz Arena up against Bayern Munich. Obviously, they play in the Allianz Stadium. It's about the Allianz branding here. Let's get into this one up against Company's Bayern Munich. Who, by the way, I signed Virgil van Dijk in this career mode. I saw that when I was sorting out the kits for this game. Let's get into this one and hopefully beat Bayern here. Maybe we could do like a big team and sign them for that one. I don't know. I feel like with me, the way I do career modes, I don't get to use a lot of the big players in the game, or like young talents developed into like the higher ratings in the future. Pavlovic shoots, and thank you Cambiasso for blocking that, because that would have been a frustrating goal to concede there. It's Ken Yod is a player that's been linked to Bayern, if I'm not mistaken. It was a Pender, no stranger to Bayern, as the Leipzig player. Ball inside to Jonathan David, who I believe was also linked to Bayern before he joined Juventus. And David, can he turn? No, he can't. And we're going to get maybe a free kick, or is that going to be for Bayern? No, it's going to be for Bayern. From Bayern. Goretzka. There we go. Good defender from Kalulu. Now we can hopefully get the ball out. There we go. Oh, had some nice passing play there going, but oh no, we can't. I'm trying to get the last challenge in there, but there we go. Good block from Kalulu. Elise now, first involvement for him in this game. The Frenchman, he usually does well against me. That's good work there from Locatelli to stop him. Openda through to David. And David can hold it back up, but get it back through to Luis Openda, who shoots and scores. And Bayern's defence there was left on a 3-on-2 scenario there with Yildiz, Openda and David all linking up there to get that attack going. And a pass back into Openda was actually going to go to Yildiz to begin with. I was going to pass it back to him. But I thought, you know what, Yildiz might have been in the best position for the shot. And Openda should score with the position that he was in. And rifles it past Manuel Neuer to make it 1-0 to us in the round of 16, the first leg of the Champions League. We should to see. And obviously, I'm not expecting us to win the Champions League this season, but I've won it with worse teams, like we just said. I've won it, obviously, with Gladbach, with a lower rated team that we have right now. I've won it with the Ajax team in SC25. So winning it with Juventus in this first season would not be a surprise to me, but you never know. Pender back into Yildiz. Yildiz looking for Jonathan David. That's a great cross. Why did he not volley that? That's 2-0 if he volleys it there. It's Elise. Keeping it quiet in this game so far. Lovely play here. Kenan Yildiz being played through. Yildiz, can he double that lead here? Can he shoot across goal and double that lead? Yes, he does. Neuer couldn't stop him. And Van Dijk couldn't get there in time. And the Turkish international puts us 2 goals up here in the first leg at home against Bayern. We should have to see. It's a great finish as well, by the way. Neuer did get a touch of it, yes, but it's a great bit of play there. Openda with the assist with a great pass through. I was tempted to cut it back then, play it back into David, but I thought, you know what, Yildiz can score here, and I'm not going to risk Van Dijk stopping us. And Yildiz finds the back of the net there, makes it awkward for Neuer to save. He probably could do better than Neuer, but Yildiz strikes to make it 2-0, we should have to see. Yildiz again steals it, but they get the ball back here. Great defending from Yildiz to end the first half to win over back there, and that should be half time. There we go. Quick, and obviously a great dribbler, and as end product as well, it can be dangerous. But inside, Kane shot blocked though, and it falls back to him, and thankfully it ricocheted off his hand there to be an offside, not offside, a handballer against him. Good play here from Bayern. Alphonso Davies getting forward, ball through into Elise, who's onside, and Elise is actually offside. It's denied. Game. Showing why we do want to sign him. Kenan Yildiz. Now Upamecano just gets in, hoops it away. Interesting that he actually managed to hoof that away. Not too sure how he managed to do that, but fair enough. Oh, Davies is so hard to beat, man, in Career Mode. Like, he's such an overpowered defender in this game. There's the pace, the physicality, how good he is in the challenge as well, especially in the hands of the AI. I always struggle against him. Oh no, Jamal Musiala. He's cooked me there, Musiala. Fair enough. It's 2-1 Bayern back in the game. They don't like doing so. And whatever this is coded into the game, EA needs to fix this, where players run to the centre circle to celebrate, and where the centre circle is shown in the replay of the goals. They need to fix that. But Musiala scores here. I felt like we could have managed to get hit with that skill move there from Musiala. The last one finished me, man. I thought he was going to go for the shot soon as I went for the slide tackle with Cambiasso. And then he sat Cambiasso down, and I couldn't switch to Bremer in time. And he scores a great finisher into the top corner. Brings Bayern back into the game. And they could get a goal straight from kickoff here, so we give the ball away. Elise. Jamal Musiala. Great defending from Sanchez, but they get the ball back. Sanchez is there though. Okay, why have you just kicked it straight to Elise? Good block there from Cambiasso. They're going to get back into this game. Bayern are playing some great football here. Oh, Musiala. It's 2-2 and I can't complain. I really can't. Jamal Musiala has just scored 2 goals against me, and he's absolutely cooked me with the skill moves there. And he starts to the centre circle again to celebrate. Thuram, how has he lost the ball there? That's what I mean. This situation, we're in this situation quite a lot, where they just steal the ball off his last second here. They're just constantly winning every challenge. The ball's falling back to them. It's a bit frustrating. But the 2 goals have scored. It could be 3. What has happened in this game? There's a hat-trick for Jamal Musiala. 3 goals in quick succession. And there's nothing I could do to stop them. Our players couldn't pass the ball. They saved their lives. And you saw it in that goal there, probably, in a build-up. We tried to clear it out, and it just kicked it straight into... Well, the second one as well, it kicked it straight to Elise, and then the other one... So, I mean, there's just... They have 2 players on us, right, marking us, like, pressing us, but there's no room in behind or anywhere else on the pitch. You know what I mean? Like, 2-on-1 scenario, right? Needs a gap for another player to run into. Can we at least equalise this later on? No. Sick. It's a 3-2 loss. I don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say. A hat-trick from Musiala, who just became unstoppable. Like, Bayern just turned a switch. I don't know what happened. The AI just became unstoppable there. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't get the ball out my own half. I couldn't pass the ball 2 feet without it being misplaced or kicking it straight to a Bayern Munich player. It just switched out of nowhere, that game, and we lose it 3-2. At least it's the second leg for us to play, but I don't get what really happened in that game. Alright, so I cannot tell you the last time I was in this situation, because in my Career Mode episodes and the Career Mode series I don't really lose many games. But in that last game against Bayern, Musiala just became unstoppable. He became the player that he looked like in the trailer for this game when that got released, when he did that dribbling through the centre and then scored. He just was unstoppable. His dribbling was insane, the skill moves were insane, his finishers were top corner, all of them. There was no saving any of them for Diego Gordio. There's no fault in him, as all the shots were just complete, powerful shots into the corner. There's no stopping those. But let's get into this one. And this is a weird situation for me to be in. 3-2 down. It's only 1 goal deficit, yes, but we're away from home in Munich in the Champions League round of 16. And let's hopefully pull out a comeback here to not get, knocked out early on in this competition, because we should, at least we're making it through to the quarterfinal, or at least maybe the semi-final this season. But then again, this team isn't the greatest, but it's not a bad team. Let's get into this one up against Bayern and hopefully pull out the comeback here against them. And to create something here, back into a Pender here. There's not really anywhere for it to go. Bayern are just all over us here. I tried to get it into the centre to find Constance. I'm surprised it actually worked out. That's how Lima intercepts it. Honestly, when they brought on Lima, that game changed fielders as well. They just cover every gap in midfield possible. Turin does well there. David. Pender back through to Jonathan David. Great play. Jonathan David now 1-on-1 with Neuer. Open Makota behind him. And Jonathan David scores. Get the ball. We're back in it. 3-3. Nearly 20 minutes in. We're level again. Locatelli trying to get above Kane and his son. So can we get a goal again? Ball through. Bayern's defence has just opened up. Openda chips Neuer and scores 2 goals in quick succession. We take the lead. Harry Kane just, I don't know what happened there. He just held the ball in midfield and Locatelli just pressed him, got the ball off him. It looked like Harry Maguire from Man United when, last season De Gea played for him, or played for them. The defence was just completely wide open as well. Openda just has all the room in the world there to get through. Not so sure what's just happened to Bayern Munich, but 2 goals in quick succession for us. Sees us take the lead in the tie. And Bayern have just crumbled in this one. Courtesy of Elise and Musiala playing incredible against us. Speaking of them, here they are. Luis Diaz blocked before it's back to him, but it's going to be intercepted by Turan before it's back to them. No. Musiala stopped there by Bremer. No skin was this time for you, lad. Vincent Sanchez. Oh, it's a great pass through from a centre-back to Jonathan David. Can he make it free? And Jonathan David has made it free. And the old lady of Turin has been rejuvenated here. An age-reversing potion's been taken by us in this one, because after losing to Bayern, we have come to their home stadium. I promise you I've not changed anything about the gameplay. It looks a bit suspicious that we're now throwing it up very, very easily, but I've not changed anything about the gameplay. This is just how bipolar FC 26 is. And David has scored again. I mean, he's playing great in this game. 2 goals and an assist, if I'm not mistaken. Did a lot to get back into that game. It's Kenan Yildiz here. Ball in. Oh, we can't win the header though. Kefren Turan. He's going to hit that with Locatelli there, but there's no room to do so. Turan, it's a great ball, but Van Dijk's going to head it away. There's Diaz. Good challenge there from Bremer. Left a little bit in there as well. Did the Brazilian on the Colombian. There's a little rivalry there. There's a ball over the top. Van Dijk is going to stop. A pen in it could be 4. I don't know what to say. Because we lost that last game. And now we're 4-0 up in the first half. I mean, Bayern have just collapsed in on themselves in this game. Maybe they did have a game midweek. Maybe that's the issue. They've come into the game not fully rested, and we've come into the game rejuvenated, focused, disappointed after that loss, angry about that loss, and we've just torn them apart in the first half to make it 4-0. And the Bayern fans are rightfully booing their team, because we have 3 players in the 10-point rating. Turan there as well, like a Teddy up there. But with a 4 shots, 4 goals, and we're going to sim the rest of the game because we're through. And it ends up being 4-1. They did get a goal late on themselves, but that was such an odd moment. It was a great performance from the team. We played incredible. We were what Bayern were at the end of the game, unstoppable, and deserved to go through because we just tore them apart. And well, that's going to call it for the end of today's episode. I think we do have 89 million to spend on the on transfers, so we could possibly make a big signing or two going into the next season before we even get there, because this money won't get transferred over into the next season. I do have the by the way, the unexpected events on medium, because I just feel like they've turned down the amount of them you get, because I don't really get them. I get like 1 or 2 a season on medium, so I might have to put it up at high on my next series, because I do like the unexpected events. I just haven't really got them. In the Wolves series, I didn't really get them. In the back series, I didn't really get them. In the past like month or so, I've not really had many come up in the the series or like in my career mode that I've had really an effect on the team. Like injuries have happened, yes, sometimes, but other than that, nothing really happened. Maybe like a player who's like wants to get a break for like a week, and it's a time period when some games in between. And we've got 89 minutes to spend. So drop in the comments about what we should do with that if we do end up doing a season 2, because as you'll see. And to making it past Bayern, we're now taking Inter Milan in the quarterfinals of the Champions League. Chelsea face Spurs, Atletico Madrid face Real Madrid, and Liverpool face Arsenal. So some tough teams left. I mean, Spurs are probably the easiest team here, and it probably goes Spurs and Chelsea are the easier teams. And so Atletico Madrid are up there as well as an easier team. It's close between Chelsea and Atletico Madrid, to be honest, how easy they're going to be to beat. But also, we have been Inter in the past, and right now, league-wise, we sit a few points ahead of them in the league. Top of the table, as you can see, with only 2 games lost, they're on 7 losses here, so they're not going to win the title if we keep on playing the way we are doing. But we're looking pretty good so far. As in the Coppa Italia, we've got a similar second leg against Napoli to either face Milan or Roma in the final of that one to hopefully win that one to win the treble. If we can do so, that'd be incredible. We'll find out about that next episode, but as you'll see about the players and how they're performing so far, we'll go into that real quickly and show you who's performing the best so far in this team. And Benton's only played 4 games, interesting, but Jonathan David, with 26 goals and 7 assists, he's been incredible, man. Honestly, if we do a season 2, I don't think buying Osimhen is needed, because Jonathan David is unbelievable. Kenan Yildiz, 16 goals and 14 assists. He's amazing. I mean, we know about how good he was from the Barcelona series when we used him briefly in that one, but he's been incredible in the team. Luis Openda, 15 and 6. He's been incredible as well. Berardi's come in, has done pretty well for us. Conceição doing pretty well as well. And in terms of clean sheets, as you can see, Di Gregorio has got 16 clean sheets in 40 games, 13 in the league, which is very, very impressive. He's doing incredible clean sheet-wise. But that's a good quote for this one. So drop in the comments about what we should do with the 89 million and who we should spend it on. Maybe a defender, maybe I don't know where we'd use it, to be honest with you. I think the defence would be the thing or backup players of the team if we were to go into a season 2. And also, drop a like and subscribe if you want to enjoy the episode. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.